Let's talk about some stocks. Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm your beautiful host, Young Buffett, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at a couple of stocks. We're going to take a look at what we did today. We did some interesting day trades over at Finery. It was an interesting day. It was a fun day. It was a brutal day. It was everything all in one. So first and foremost, if you want to talk about stocks all day long, hop over to Finery. We hang out here during market hours and hold each other's hands and cry a little bit. But overall, it was a pretty interesting day with CLOV getting absolutely destroyed. We heard a little bit about why they wanted to make their offering, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about our quick little day trade that we did today on Apple. That was an interesting one. We'll take a look at a open position we have on NVDA. We're still holding Snapchat, so that should be interesting too. But jumping into, first and foremost, I just wanted to get this off my chest and get this out of the way first. I don't want to clickbait you guys and then leave you guys hanging. So if you only clicked on this video to understand this part of the video and then leave, that's fine. Just make sure you hit that like button. But anyways, Clover Health Investments Corp announces pricing of 300 million upsized public offering of Class A common stock that absolutely destroyed everyone's portfolios. Everybody is red and it kind of hurts. But we all know CLOV made an offering, right? And they offered 52.1 million shares, okay? And it was at a stock price of $5.75 a share. Ouch. So what that does is it automatically brings the price down to that point and probably a little bit lower. And I think we're sitting a little bit lower right now as we speak. So it was a interesting move. We're going to have to see how we're going to play this. We are still holding our 409 shares, but the question on everyone's mind, why did you do an offering? Why did you do that? So we talked about this in a couple of videos ago. You do an offering so you can collect cash without issuing debt. And this is a good way for companies to collect cash. Now, typically, companies do this when their stock price is really high. You do that because why not? Let's cash out a little bit. Let's collect some cash. That's fine. It's very common, and we're seeing it a lot right now. It seems to be offering season. There's a lot of other companies like UWMC, for example, who also did the same thing not too long ago, actually like a week ago, or not even a week ago, this week. I don't know. They did it pretty much the same time CLOV did it. A lot of other companies are also following along and they're collecting cash. And typically when you want to collect cash, you should have a reason, right? What's the point of cash just sitting in your account for no reason? So after reading this and trying to dig through why, Clover Health intends to use the net proceeds from its offering for working capital and general corporate purposes. That is not the answer that I wanted to see. So CLOV is a hyper-growth company. CLOV is growing and growing and growing. And I'm going to link to a YouTube video that actually breaks down exactly why and what their growth rates are and stuff like that. So check my description. It's a great video, but it's just really, really interesting that their reason was just general corporate purposes. I don't know. I'm going to need a lot more explanation from them, from maybe just watching what they do with it, because great, they got all that cash. Have a plan, put it to good use. What are you going to do with $300 million cash? I mean, typically you do an acquisition for that. Typically you focus on maybe some marketing, maybe growth. I don't know. Maybe they needed that cash to maintain their growth. I don't know. Maintain or exceed their growth. I don't know. But what it does is that $5.75 per share price is just really cheap. And sometimes, and there's examples of this all over the stock market, a good company does not always equal a good stock. Okay? That happens sometimes. It's just true. UWMC, the number one mortgage company in the world, I think, in the United States at least. And their stock is just as trash as CLOV right now. CLOV could be the world's most innovative and advanced healthcare company, but their stock is still trash right now. So they are focusing on themselves. They do not care if your price is up or down. So that's what's going on with CLOV. We can hop over to Ape Wisdom and talk about what Wall Street and Reddit are talking about. Trending stocks on Reddit in the past 24 hours. NVDA, absolutely killing it. We made a play on NVDA. We're holding it through, I hope, maybe tomorrow. They had their earnings yesterday. We talked about it a little bit in our video from yesterday. They beat, and they have great guidance, and everything is good. Fantastic company, right? And this goes back to what I've been ranting about for quite a while now, diversification and making sure that you're not missing opportunities. We talked about this in our last video. Keep an eye out on the post-earnings continuation. Is NVIDIA going to continue to rise, or is it going to fall? Right now, it is on a strong path to a $1 trillion market cap, and that is a huge milestone for a lot of companies. Keep an eye out on it. Keep an eye out on this industry, on this sector, on chip makers in general. NVIDIA is hot. Okay, so we have an open position. We bought a November 2021 $385 call on this. And we're currently down about 30% on it. We're going to ignore that for now. We're going to hold it and see if there's a post earnings continuation. Is this going to continue to go up tomorrow? If it is, then that's great. It's going to rise all of the premiums, and that could be a quick flip for us, or it'll just hold up. If it holds up, even better. That's fine. We can just hold our shares and ride along that wave. So far, so good. The S&P 500, all good. Everything's good there. Tesla, bouncing up and down. A lot of volatility. A lot of trading opportunities if you want to play something that's volatile. That is another great option. Tesla just keeps on literally moving $100 a day up and down. So if you want to play it, play it. Alibaba had horrible earnings. They were down, I think it was like 13% at one point today. So keep an eye out for that post earnings continuation. Maybe bounce back, maybe more to the downside. I'm just watching. I haven't opened any positions on that yet. So let me know if you have any play ideas on something like Baba, but we're just holding and just seeing what's going to happen. We have Lucid. We have Rivian, who's been just getting brought straight back to earth after their wild IPO, hitting like 160, 170 or something, and then working its way back down. Congratulations to anybody who shorted that. I know a couple people in our Finery group are all over that with Rivian puts and shorts. It's an interesting one to watch. Prague has just been very, very interesting. Apple had amazing news today. Out of nowhere, they just popped, and it was news on their autonomous car. And they've been quiet about this, but they are coming out with their autonomous car. They're rumored 2025 or something like that. It's not going to have a steering wheel or gas pedal or anything like that. It's fully autonomous. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Let's take a look at how that affects companies like Lucid, Rivian, and Tesla. It should be very interesting. They are a powerful, powerful company who's branching out into this new sector. We opened a position on that, and I want to hop over to Finery. Let's go into our insiders trades and take a look at how we played Apple. So Apple's news came out. I immediately hopped over to the options chain. There were 3 options that we wanted to play here. 2 of them with time and 1 of them with less time. So I picked up a December 17th 165 call, bought 1 of them for $122. So I'm going to be holding this maybe until tomorrow if it continues to run. 165 is pretty close to the money. Apple is actually not that far away from 165, so it should be interesting to see. Let's see where Apple is. AAPL, send. All right, so Apple is currently sitting at what? 157.88. So again, that pop right here was from that news. We were all over that in our Finery chat. So I bought that December play. We're still holding that, and it is currently sitting at plus 47%. So we're sitting at a profit, holding it, give us some cushion. We'll see what happens there. Then we picked up a January 2021 or January 2022 $200 call, so way further out of the money, but it does have more time. We picked up 10 of those at 23 cents a contract, or $23 a contract, and then from there we day traded and flipped that for about $40 profit. Not much, not crazy, but we're just padding the stats a little bit as we watch other companies like CLOV get crashed to the ground. We stay nimble. We're all over the place. We're buying and selling. We're flipping. We are padding our stats here. March 18th, 2022, $200 call. About one of those for $98, sold it for $121. And all of this happened literally within minutes. So this is a screenshot of all of those trades coming into play. So you can pause the video and take a look at that if you want. But keep an eye out on Apple. It should be an interesting continuation. They are either at all-time highs or getting close to it. I think they are. Well, we'll see if it blue skies from here. We'll see. It should be very, very interesting. But number 10 on Ape Wisdom is CLOV. So we're working our way up this list. I mean, that should count for something, huh? CLOV overall public sentiment about 58% positive. Nearby words are just a lot of pain. It seems like I think everyone is red on this, all-time lows. So be careful here. Be very, very careful. None of this is financial advice or a recommendation or buy or sell any type of security or investment. But I can say be careful, can't I? Be very, very careful, because when a stock gets absolutely destroyed like that, that does not equal a immediate bounce back. No matter how great that company is, no matter how oversold it is. I saw a couple articles coming out saying CLOV is now oversold. That means it's going to trigger some buys. That's not true, because of this. They did offer it at $5.75. And if I hop over to the chart right now, you can see that CLOV is actually just barcoding. Now, let me show you what barcoding looks like. That is when you get a bunch of this non-active, stagnant Doji Cat candles that just hold. Now, why does this happen? This happens because the volume is just assuming that that's the price it should be at. Nothing is happening. They just think this is the price that it should be because they offered those shares, and it is literally just stuck at $5.60, $5.70. It's stuck. So be very careful scaling back in. I'm seeing a lot of large orders coming through. That's what those other normal candles are. Be very, very careful buying the dip, because take a look at our close friend here, UWMC, another SPAC, just like CLOV, who came out, SPAC'd at what? Around the $10 range, as most SPACs do. And then it spiked up, just like CLOV did, $14. Wow, that's amazing, right? It went from like $10 to $14. CLOV went from what, like 8 to 20 something. That's great and all. But then it started getting shorted, and it's the same story as CLOV. UWMC is the biggest mortgage company. It's an amazing mortgage company. And then it was getting shorted, and everybody's like, no, that's not fair. And then it spiked back up, just like many of CLOV spikes back up, and it went to 10 again, right? That's super exciting. 1093, back to IPO. Let's see where this goes. And then it just got shorted right back down. Okay. And then just last week, they came out with their own offering, exactly like CLOV did, and it's just getting beat to the ground at 541. What does that look like? Just like CLOV. Except CLOV was a little bit more violent. I think CLOV has more of an army than UWMC does, has more of a community, has more people watching it. But 554. Isn't that interesting? You could be the world's best company and just still be a garbage stock. So max pain, we talk about this in all my videos. Max pain for CLOV is 7.5. I don't know how that's going to play out. It might work its way up a little bit, but I think the people who have already had bought those puts way over here might actually walk away winners. We've been watching CLOV's max pain, and it has been either closing at or slightly below, slightly above the max pain week after week for a couple months now. But I don't know if that's going to be true anymore because of this. I keep going back to this, the $5.75 per share. So that really just throws everything for a loop. We can't really do much. Nobody's shorting this thing. Net short volume is positive 4.6 million. Net short volume in dollars is positive 30 million. What are you going to do? How are you going to play it? Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any comments. Should be very interesting to watch. Let's see what happens with NVDA. Let's see what happens with Apple. We're still holding our 100 shares of Snap that we bought yesterday, sitting down, 1.74% on that. All good. I'm expecting Snap to come out with some sort of AR, VR meta news. Come on, Snap. Why are you so shy? Why are you so quiet? With that, I love you. Let me know if you have any questions or anything, and I'll see you in the next video.